Most people think that investing is about finding the best asset. It's not. It's about structuring your money so you never panic. No matter what the market does, you've got a plan. And in this video, I'm going to showcase exactly what I'm going to do with my money in 2026. And if you want a plan that still works and you've got 2 kids, a mortgage, 300 dogs, cats, a hippo, whatever, this video is for you. If you are investing for the long term, if you like a simple life and realistic plans instead of hype, chasing the stocks and stuff like that, hit the like button. It really helps the channel. And if you want more content like this, hit the subscribe channel because 2026 is going to be quite a big year. There's some stuff happening. It's going to be quite cool. But before we begin, I want to go through me because I got a comment recently saying, do you have kids? What is your circumstances like? Because everyone's different, right? Obviously. And I've been investing since 2015. It's a long time now. I started off in stocks. I was in Bitcoin for a while. I still am. And I've rotated back to stocks for safety reasons because I'm getting older and I want to secure my future instead of being in the volatile world. I will come on to that in a bit, so don't go anywhere. But I do have 2 kids. I have a 7-year-old and I have a 6-month-old. Both of them female, so that's me absolutely buggered in 20 years' time. I own my house. I have a small mortgage, which is actually quite small considering my age, so I could pay that off in 8 years if I overpay a certain amount, which isn't too bad considering, and I have no debt outside that. However, caveat to that, the other half is still on maternity leave, so that is quite a bit of a hole in terms of the salary, because that is tiny. Yeah, let's not go into that. And as of October, I run my own limited company now. I did have a limited company as Learning Crypto back in the day. I've got rid of that essentially and merged it into one. I do have now a crypto brand and a personal finance brand, which is what you're watching here, and that all goes into a limited company. It's better for tax efficiency. If you are a sole trader and you have a job and you're a side hustle, whatever, look into being a limited company. Honestly, the tax benefits are so much better than pay on account. Pay on account with the government, awful. Just saying. So my philosophy for 2026 is quite simple. My investing plan isn't to beat anyone or everyone, by the way. It's to build freedom without stress through time. Because realistically, people chase the hype. You want to have 4 things in life. Low fees, you want to be tax efficient, you want to think of the long-term compounding effect, and you don't want to force any stupid decisions because, oh, I've missed the boat on Nvidia or silver or gold or whatever. Stick to your plan. Everything you're going to see will fit into that. Firstly, cash. You have to have a slice of cash. Simple as that, really. I do keep it, but only for emergencies. I use Monzo for a lot of my stuff. I have my business with that, I have my joint account with that, and my current account. And I have money pots within those that are ones for, different things, realistically. For example, wedding, getting married, 2026. I'm also considering holidays, cars, whatever, right? Put them in saving pots and one for emergency fund. Simple as that. This is not investment money. Do not put this as an investment. Simple as that. It's a small chunk. Now, the purpose of this is obviously quite interesting. It's you do not have to sell your investments no matter what. But I'm going to give you a little bit of a life hack here, right? So I first used Plum many years ago. Still got it on my phone. Don't use it as much nowadays, but this is great if you are struggling to save. There's a link below to this as an app. It's in the link tree. You'll find it. And I highly recommend, if you are crap with saving your money, get Plum. Why? Hooks up to your bank, and when you spend monies, right, you can put a multiple on rounding up. It's a really good way to save money and build an emergency fund on the go. So if you're, spending, £500 a month on Amazon / Tesco, whatever, and you want to put a percentage of that away as an overpayment, you will eventually start building the fund. Now, my main priority, obviously, is my ISA. Stocks and shares ISA. Highly recommended you get one. This is, for obvious reasons, the first goal is to get rid of that 6,747.33p allowance. I want to fill it. And I will probably fill it in the next couple of months, very easily, I may add, but realistically, cash flow is king. I don't want to go too heavy. I'm a big believer in dollar cost averaging. I don't like the idea of lumping 20k just randomly in April, for example, which some people do, I get it. But I think because the market ebbs and flows quite a lot, it's quite good to do it in certain points. Not automatically, but I like to manage mine a bit more, hands-on versus, say, normal people. If you're a beginner, I always recommend do it automatically at a certain, date of the month or whatever, start of every month. But for me, I like to, because I'm full-time in this industry, I like to look anyways. But as I say, right, these are incredibly powerful for one reason, tax-free. Obviously, yes, if you're in certain funds, you will get a withholding tax. That's a little bit different. That's already taken at source for dividends. This is where the boring stuff wins, realistically. The low cost, the diversified investments, tax-free, 20K a year. If you can put as much money in this as possible, it will make a huge difference longer term. If you're thinking 10, 20 years down the line, you could be getting an income from this, which is tax-free, versus, say, your SIP, which you will have to pay some income tax on, which is really irritating, I know. But yeah, stuff like that, hugely important. But what I will say is this. One thing that I've been doing a lot more over the last 2 or 3 years is tracking my stock investments. When I used to start in 2015, I never used to track it. I used to just put it in a fund and just go, whatever. I use Snowball Analytics. There's a massive, huge offer currently on this, and there's a link below to it. It's an amazing tool. You can build a watch list. You can simulate your portfolio, see what dividends you're going to get. Now, this is better than having a spreadsheet. It gives you clarity, it gives you up-to-date information. It is so much better, in my opinion, knowing what you're going to invest in first, so you know the passive income, the yield, all that kind of good stuff before you pull the trigger. Because obviously stamp duty, you're going to get feed to buggery in the UK stock market because it's stupid with stamp duty. They need to get rid of it. But yeah, highly recommended you get into it. For obvious reasons, yes, there's different ways of looking at this. You don't have to look at it like me. You can look at different things if you're looking at, obviously, different investment parameters, but you can see green everywhere for my portfolio. It's ridiculous. We are in an amazing bullish market currently, but this may not last forever for obvious reasons. But yeah, there's a free trial, link below. Check out your portfolio, see how you're doing, and it will help you massively make better decisions. First time you've probably seen this, but this is my pension. Not the best, I'm not gonna lie. But because I now run a limited company, this makes sense. Realistically, right? So essentially, this is going to become a massive part of my plan. Running a SIP is good. Self-investment pension, basically, right? And because I can put profit from my company into this, it reduces corporation tax. So if I've got excess, guess where it's going, boys and girls? You get it. It's going in here. And I know that this money is somewhat locked away until I'm 57, and I will pay tax on it. I can personally contribute and get the HMRC top up, so to speak, but I can also put in, as I say, through my company as a director. It keeps it simple. It allows me to use money for a later date. And more importantly, what would you rather do? Would you rather pay corporation tax and lose it, or reduce the corporation tax and actually have it later down in life? I also hold Bitcoin. This is kind of, you can probably see the stuff behind me. It changed my life. It really has. I invested in Bitcoin in 2016 when it was like $800, $700. Ridiculous, I know. And as I say, right, this has changed everything. It's allowed me to have a better future. It allowed me to become a full-time content creator a long, long time ago, 2018. And right now, I'm also doing a public DCA on my other channel. And I'm going to showcase that in a second. Because even though Bitcoin has been awful in 2025, it's been really good elsewhere. I started this about 13 months ago, give or take, right? Or maybe a bit more than that, I don't know. About the October 2024. As you can see, it's not doing very well, but I have just been slowly putting in like £60 every single Sunday. And this is what we've got. We've got $18,000 in here now, give or take. It was a bit higher when obviously the prices were much higher, and it has come down quite a bit. But the reality is here, this is a public DCA, which is what I'm doing on my other channel, but I do have other cryptocurrency holdings. I'll be honest with you, most of my crypto is my wealth. I've been in the market for a long time. I do have a little bit of an issue with tax with that because I've been in for so long. Capital gains tax, it's literally like I've got to take little bits as and when I can. There's no point doing it now in terms of where we are. I've already taken profit on my personal holdings. So yeah, with that, it's majority profit. With this, it's a little bit different, obviously. I'm just building, I'm just having a bit of fun with it. But this is obviously the public side of it. I'm going to continue with the dollar cost average challenge. I do have some stable currencies, which is in Tether, which I will be looking to buy back low with my Bitcoin stack, my personal holdings, which will be fine. But as I say, I'm not looking to take any more profit off that. Obviously, buy low, sell high, rebuy back low. I always build the kitty. But yeah, if you've been holding for a while, you'll know the issues that I face. The capital gains tax on it is horrendous, especially when you're in so much profit. But what I will say is this, not financial advice. Bitcoin is highly, highly volatile. It is high risk as well. It's very much emerging, and it's not something that I rely on realistically. It's profit, don't get me wrong. If you bought much later than me, you're probably sweating quite a bit. But for me, it doesn't really matter. I've already converted a lot of my profit over the last few years into obviously my house and all that kind of stuff, and really nice stuff that I've got as tangible things that I probably, as I said at the start of this video, never would have had. Which is why now I'm starting to merge more into the stock market, just for that safety reasons, because as you can imagine, losing 30% over a matter of a couple of weeks period is quite heartbreaking for some. Now, I mentioned months back that I have a couple of family members that are property investors, kind of ish. Yeah. Am I going to be investing in property though? Probably not, no. Funny story though. It's not really funny, but when I first learned about investing, I was reading a lot on property. I wanted to learn about buy to let. I was in the military at the time, right? So I wanted to buy a house and then rent it out, sort of either an extra income. It was kind of the thing to do in the military at the time. And I learned and I learned and I learned, and then I never did it. I actually bought Bitcoin instead. So I had stocks, and then I went, instead of property, I went into Bitcoin. Woohoo. And it turned out to be a really good thing. But it's one of those things where I live, I'm in the Lake District essentially, and it's a lot different in terms of house prices. I can go 20 miles down the road and you got £1 million houses, and where I am, it's just normal prices. But when you go down to London or into the south of England, it's also crazy. So yeah, it's one of those things. I think where I live, it's not really set up for, the world of investing because the rents are not that high. So yeah, right now I've got no plans to buy into any investment property. I may look into some corporate side or collective kind of investments or REITs and stuff, but I'm not really that. Yeah, maybe when I'm older, but certainly not for 2026. So to sum it all up, my stocks and shares ISA is my main priority. I will be adding at periods in the year, probably every quarter or whatever, into my SIP. Bitcoin, I will remain holding it. That's fine. I will be doing the dollar cost average challenge on that. £60 every single Sunday. We'll just struggle in and I will showcase it every now and again. And obviously cash. Emergency fund only for obvious reasons. Yes, I do have a lot of outgoings in the course of 2026 with the wedding and stuff, but ultimately it's already kind of dealt with. And the plan will always be to invest every single month without fail. And I'd love to know as well from you guys, what would be your priority for 2026? What is your plan for investments? Is it your ISA? Is it clearing your debt? Is it starting off a pension? Is it to be a bit more risky with obviously like the Bitcoin and stuff? Or is it just to continue what you're doing? But yeah, if you did find this useful and if you do like my content, please do consider subscribing. And yeah, 2026 is going to be quite a big year. I'm going to be doing a lot of content. Obviously, this is a new channel. It's a new journey. It's going to kind of like become a lot bigger than just a YouTube channel. Obviously, I'm going to make it a website with guides and information and stuff you can actually use, tangible tools, products, whatever, calculators, etc. And yeah, if you've not yet done so, I recommend you watching this video. If you are a beginner, it might be quite useful to get you going realistically.